My name is Shannon Howard, and I did my project presentation about the American Bar Association for this class. My first slide is about the scopes and function, and I'm going to talk about prosecution, the ethical conduct, the aspiration words, and the ABAs. First, I'm going to talk about the prosecution or how the criminal cases get attorneys. They want to make the attorneys work and make sure they act on the criminal cases that are supposed to be acted on. And the ABAs is the way they conduct and make sure the American Bar Association is conducted the right way, and how the right way is that the system treats the clients right. And they use aspiration words to make sure the client is comfortable about how they are being treated, and they want to make sure they're getting treated the right way. And ethical conduct, make sure they're making ethical choices. And my next slide is the duties that they have to do. The duties they have to do is make judgment calls and make sure the judgment calls they always make be good, because if they do a bad judgment, then that's going to mess up the whole case that they are doing. So the prosecution make sure that the judgment is always good according to the American Bar Association. And the second thing is that they want to seek justice and make sure it's not a low bound, because if it's a low bound, then somewhere along the way is that the case was either treated wrong or somebody messed it up, and then they have to start the case all over. And the third thing is that the prosecutor want to abide by the standards. They want to make sure all prosecutions abide by the standards, treat people the way they want to be treated, and make sure they follow the ethical code, and have the clients come in, make sure they are treated right, make sure the case is treated right, make sure there's no type of any kind of wrong communication with the people. The second thing is about bias. If the prosecution is biased, they want to make sure bias is prohibited, because it doesn't matter what race, color, sex, gender, skin tone, it doesn't matter what you look like. They just want to make sure it's not biased. Like the prosecutor is biased towards a person that is actually presenting or getting prosecuted for the case. They don't just want to make sure the person getting thrown in jail because of who they are or what they look like. My third thing is about delicate promptness and punctuality. This is make sure that the prosecution things are delicately smooth, and that they charges aren't being padded or anything like that, such as make sure their rights are getting read to them, make sure they have the victims and the witness, make sure they all have their statements written down, make sure it's ran smooth and properly, because they don't want anything like the person that getting prosecuted acting on for something that they didn't do, or that the prosecutor should have done to make it right. The third thing is about the media. Make sure you respect the person's wishes. Don't go posting on social media. Don't go talking to the news about the person or about the case, just because you want to respect their wishes, and make sure respect is all the way around. Just don't go spreading out something that is not true of what is true. Just don't go telling the media something just to make yourself look better. Just make sure you ask permission before you go do any kind of social media or any type of news. And then make sure the evidence that is placed in the court right. That way you don't have to make sure you date it, time, stamp it, and seal it up. That way you don't have to have something go missing, or make sure you follow the standards. My next thing is misconduct. Make sure you don't treat your clients wrong or anything. It's required by law. You follow it. Make sure no laws hasn't been broken, because if laws are broken, then you can lose your job, your client can go free, just bad stuff could happen. Make sure when the allegation is brought up, make sure the prosecutor always know before you bring up allegations about something, because if the prosecution doesn't know about what's going on, then there's along the line is that something was bad, and then it just went terrible because the allegation was accused, and then it's go by somebody say he say she say but you never know exactly what happened. So misconduct is very important. And my next slide is your ethical principles, which is integrity, competence, dignity, respect, professional ethics, and exponentials. Make sure you follow all these. Integrity is very important because you just want to know that you have the right, and it's like integrity is very important because you just want to make sure that you're standing up for what you believe in, and dignity, make sure you don't have to go down without a fight. Make sure you stand up for what you believe in. And respect is all the way around. Respect goes two ways. You respect them, they will respect you. My next slide is the roles that they have to do, which is charging the suspect, having research, and make sure they're coming into court prepared. If they don't want to do anything, make sure they have a plea bargain. Make sure they're working in the court, have the system going right, and convictions. Responsibilities are very important because it's just like if you don't do your own responsibilities, then what is somebody else don't want you coming around doing their responsibility because you can't do your job right. So responsibility is a big deal because you are dealing with the state. Something can go wrong, it can go right. You just never know about what could happen. And then your victims can be in like something wrong, but you never know because you never ask. Ethical dilemmas is the last thing I'm going to talk about. Ethical dilemmas are very important because you got responsibility to the victim, you got fairness in trial, you got a trial publication city. It is very important. Ethical dilemmas needs to be promptly done right.